Okay, guys, so it is our team call on Wednesday, January 27th, and I'm going to give an overall, like really laid back, open kind of Q&A recap of what happened in LA because it was amazing. Let me just mute you guys. Okay. All right, so I'm going to mute everyone who's on the call, and then if you guys have questions, just unmute yourself and ask. So basically, just to recap for anyone listening, I just returned from Los Angeles from the New Leader Conference, and it was amazing. It was, just totally just deepened my love for Beachbody and the company and its mission and everything that it stands for, and it was just a really cool experience. So kind of in short, basically it was a new leader conference. So there were about, I think 400-ish people there. And it was to qualify to go, you had to be a 2-star and you had to have had 100 and, some odd elite points to qualify. So everyone that was there really has skin in the game, really are leaders in their business, are running teams and have their sights set on becoming elite coaches in the next year. So it was just really cool to be around that energy and to really mastermind with people who are, of the same mindset and to get ideas from people who aren't necessarily on the dream team, but then also to connect with the people who are. So it was just, I can't say enough how amazing it was. The thing that was really cool was the fact that we got to really have like a little bit more of an intimate experience with, that sounds creepy, a closer experience with the people from corporate. You saw I took a selfie with Carl, so that was cool. I had a conversation with Autumn. That was exciting. And then just like talking to people, like checking in. I was checking in and Darren Ashby, who does the recognition on the National Wake Up Call, was like, oh, how do you say your name? I need to know for when I, give you recognition on the National Wake Up Call. And I was like, yeah, because you're totally going to shout me out on the National Wake Up Call. So it was just like cool. And then talking to like Jeremy Red was there and he was talking to us and, just Jeff Hill gave an amazing speech. Like it was just awesome. So we started off by, as soon as we got there, we went and toured corporate and oh my God, like if I wasn't a Beachbody coach, I would go and work at corporate. It was like the whole building is really cool. There are multiple gyms. We like went in the gym and there were people just like working out everywhere, employees working out. They've got like 4 kitchens. They've got the one kitchen we saw had like all the flavors of Shakeology, all the performance lines, the Blend Tech blenders. Like they've got it all right there for them. When you walk in, there's like this big like structural dome fixture and it says the mission statement on one side, and so that when they walk in the door every morning they can see the mission statement, and when they walk out it's on the opposite side so they can see it. Like it was just a really cool vibe. Everyone we saw was like super like great energy. The people who gave us tours like were really, it was just awesome. Like so that was like a good way to kick it off. We just got a tour of corporate. We got to see the Shakeology wall and all of that stuff. So just awesome. And it's cool to see like the infrastructure, like to see what they're doing behind the scenes, the stuff that like, we'll complain like, oh, the technology, oh, the back office, like whatever. But you just see everyone working feverishly. And they said that they were, and I didn't write it down because I didn't have it with me, but like they were like maybe number 2, like company hiring for technology in Los Angeles. Like the technology infrastructure is growing by leaps and bounds, and they're coming out with a totally new interface for the Coach Online office. They're totally revamping the way that our customers will shop. So the shop will look different, which I'm really excited about because I feel like it can get to be confusing. And what's cool is apparently, and they wouldn't show us and we don't know when it's rolling out, but they were just kind of leaving clues. The shop is going to be so that when someone logs on and purchases, it will give them suggested items too, which I thought was awesome. So like if they buy Shakeology, it will say, why don't you try, the boosts? Or if they buy Hammer and Chisel, it'll be like, why don't you try the performance line? So like, just like you would on any other site, like so I think that's going to be really helpful to us. I think it's going to kind of market for us. So that was corporate. We had training, like a welcome ceremony. So Carl spoke and his thing was be relentless. And that was like the word that he kept going back to, which I thought was really cool. I feel like you could apply that in so many ways. Just be relentless with your business, be relentless with inviting, be relentless with your goals, be relentless with getting people results. Like, don't give up and just keep pushing and keep the end result in mind. And a message that was kind of overall through the entire time that I was there from everyone, because it was Carl spoke, Jeff Hill spoke, a lot of people from corporate spoke. There was talk about like policy and procedures, which I'll tell you guys about later. But everyone kind of really talked about, number one, focus on helping others, not creating wealth. If you focus on helping other people get healthy and get their results, and then helping other people build the business that they want, then the rest of it will come. But if you just see dollar signs and you just see rank and you start pushing that and projecting that, you're not going to get anywhere. So if you focus on helping others, then the rest of it will come, and don't focus just on the wealth of it. And really making connections with people in a meaningful way, which I know we talk about all the time, but it's just so important to realize, like, we have such an opportunity and we have such a chance to change someone's life, whether it's through our challenge groups and through a transformation, or just helping them to create this, amazing opportunity for a business. Like, we have the potential to really change someone's lives the way that our lives were changed. The other thing that was, sorry, Ryan's walking in. The other thing that I thought was really cool was they talked about something that I've been thinking a lot lately, and that's to professionalize your business. So like I said, this was the new leader conference. So everyone that was there is a leader and is looking to really build their business. They're beyond the point of just being a coach. They're beyond the point of, just hitting diamond and stopping. They're really looking to where they can take their business, and it is a business. And so one of the things that they kept saying, which I keep repeating to myself, is hobby hours will bring hobby pay. So if you're working this as a hobby, that's totally cool. But then don't expect to be a top coach if you're working this as a hobby. Don't expect that you can treat this as a hobby and fit it in where it's convenient for you, but then be at the top, because it doesn't work that way. We talk so much about the fact that this business does give us flexibility and freedom, and that's all well and good. But when you really get to the point where you're pushing for big goals, you're not going to be able to just run it the way that you were running it as an Emerald coach or as a beginning coach. So your efforts have to match your goals, I guess, So when I think of professionalizing my business, one of my biggest takeaways with that was to really set business hours, because I found that over time, I was spending, I was always answering messages as soon as they came in. And that's something I'm really working hard not to do, because while I'm saying that, yes, I want this to be a professional thing and I don't want it to be a hobby, I also don't want it to overtake my life, because then that gets me away from my why. My why is so that I do have the freedom and I'm not answering to someone and I'm not tied down and I can be present for my kids. So what was happening was I wasn't organized and I wasn't professional. And then in turn, I was glued to my phone all day. And everyone that I heard from when I was there and all the people that I spoke with said that they really realized, like, they had to be very structured and say, this is when I'm working, this is when I'm not. And when I'm not, I'm not. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not answering messages. I'm not tuning into my notifications, because that doesn't make you a better leader or a better coach, right? Because you want to be great at what you're doing, not good at everything. And that was something that was a big message for me too. Jeff Hill talked about a book that he loves, which is called From Good to Great. And he talked about, stop trying to be good at everything. Find the thing that you are great at. Stop looking at all the top coaches and looking at all these things and trying to do everything. Find the thing that you're great at and do it really, really well. And that's going to get you further than trying to do everything, because you're going to spread yourself too thin. You're going to burn out. You're going to forget things. So, like I said, there was so much information and I don't want to skip over anything, but I also want to give you everything. That makes sense. So like, these are some things that I know I'm going to go back to and do like a full video and do a full call. But, when you're talking about building a team, and I'll say again, this was a leadership conference. So if it sounds like I'm talking to you like you're a potential leader, that's why. When you're talking about building your team and professionalizing your business, you want to think about delegation too. So whether that means that you're outsourcing and you're hiring someone to clean your house, or you're hiring someone to post for your challenge group, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe you're just looking at your team and you're saying, okay, we really work well together. So this person's going to do all the challenge group running, and this person's going to do all the clean eating running. And so maybe that works for you to split it up. So again, like I said, I will get back to that. But so with the good and great thing, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes because truly this was like amazing. The good to great thing, good is the enemy of great. I thought that was really kind of powerful, because again, you don't want to just be good at things, because good, you will be like, oh, good is good enough. Like, I did it, good enough, right? But you want to think about, again, making this a business. So you want to have a solid foundation, and really try to be great. The other thing that really rang through to me was to have positive expectations. One of the best things about going to these events is the positive environment, and how everyone lifts everyone up, and how, you really come together and support one another, and you share your content, and you share what works for you. And it's just amazing to me how there are so many coaches, but we all work together because we don't see each other as a threat, and we all look at the positive, and we all try to, think about how we want to run our business. And you want to be positive, like there's going to be frustration, and you're not going to move as quickly as you want to, or the coaches in your downline aren't going to do the things that you want them to do. But you have to remain positive and find the good in in every situation, right? So another thing was, as leaders and as people who are building a team, we need to remember, like I was saying in this coach sneak peek, when someone signs up, this is their business. And while we can mentor them and we can match their efforts, we also have to realize that this is their business, and they don't have to run their business the way that we tell them to, or the way that we want to run our business. They need to be able to do their own thing. And so in saying that, we have to allow our coaches and encourage our coaches to take ownership over their own businesses. So if I'm running something and it's not the way that you run it, that's okay. Like, we all run things differently, and maybe you can give me tips that I didn't have, or maybe you can share something with me, or I can share something with you. But as you're becoming leaders and as you're really forming your teams, you want to take ownership and be seen as that leader. So that means that when you start to have a team, you should have your own team page. Right? Just like, I still add people to Melanie's page, but I have my own page, and I do my own calls, and I do my own sneak peeks, because then the people who are signing up with me see me as that leader. Also, it gives me the freedom to say, I'm either going to go and do my own thing, or I'm going to find people to team up with. All right. Going through. Okay, this was a really cool one. So Michelle Myers was one of the speakers, and she talked about leading with love and humility. And I thought that was really cool. She said, yes, we have a product, but it's not what we sell, it's what we stand for. And that was something that really was so evident with this company, from the CEO to the top coach to all of corporate. It's so evident that we are a company that prides itself in helping people. And that's our mission. We want people to lead healthy and fulfilled lives. And so if we think about that and we take the product away, what are we offering to people? What problems do they have, and what solution can we offer? Whether it's that they need to lose weight or they want to build a business. Another one of my top takeaways was to talk about the business daily. We're all so comfortable with posting about our workouts and posting about fitness and posting about what we're eating, but we shy away when we talk about the business. And Bonnie Engel spoke, and I don't know if you guys know this about Bonnie Engel, but she's hitting her 2-year mark I think it was last week. She hit her 2-year mark as a coach. This time last year, she went to the New Leader Conference by the skin of her teeth. She had just qualified right before it happened. She was ranked right around number 400 in the company, or 250 or something. I don't know. This year, she was there presenting as the number 5 in the company. So she really talked about just going for it, getting over her fears. And the biggest thing that she could really attribute to her success was the fact that she She really simplifies things. She posts about the business every single day. She's very clear with her expectations. She's very clear with what the business has done for her and changed her. And she talked about the Success Club wheel. So this is something I'm going to do a separate call on. But basically, guys, this whole entire business comes down to Success Club. Whether you're a new coach hitting Success Club the first 3 months to get your ticket to Nashville, or you are a diamond coach and you're hitting Success Club to earn for the trip next year and to get your coaches to hit Success Club, it all comes down to Success Club. So basically, if you think of it, and I'll post the image later, so here's our wheel, right? It's a circle. Hit Success Club, sign new coaches, get them to hit Success Club, and repeat every month. So hit Success Club, sign new coaches, get them to hit Success Club, repeat every month. It's that simple. That's it. That's what this business comes down to. If you're doing those things and you're hitting Success Club, you're successful, right? So it's a marker. It's a milestone in your business. It's where you're able to see if your business is growing. If you're hitting Success Club every month, that means you're getting new challengers every month, new customers every month. If your coaches are hitting Success Club every month, then they're doing that same exact thing. And that's going to help you to grow your business exponentially. If you do that, then the rest will come. And if you hit Success Club 10 versus Success Club 5, then you're opening yourself up to leads and you're growing your business even more. Melanie posted a statistic today about the percentage, but I forget what it was. So when Bonnie was speaking, she really talked about, like I said, getting people to hit Success Club from the very beginning, like really making it that when someone signs up as a coach, they know that that's like one of the most important things. Okay. So I'm going to stop there and break and see if you guys have any questions based on what I just said, because I have so many notes and so many things I want to share with you, but they can all be their own topics. So I'm going to then just break it down to just a couple more important things that I thought were really helpful. So if you have a question, guys, or a comment on what I said, or if I went too quickly with anything, just unmute yourself. No? Nothing? We're good? Keep going? Okay, I'll just keep going. Okay, so with the Success Club, one of the things that I thought was really cool, a suggestion that was made, was to create a few things. So if you are looking at your challenge groups and you have challengers, one of the things you want to do is think about who's in the groups and you want to team them up. So, you know, one of the challenge group posts was about having success partners within your challenge groups, right? Or accountability partners. So one of the things you could do is, let's say you're running a group with a few other coaches. Like I have a really big group right now running that Kat is in on, and Ev, and I think Colleen is in there, and Jen. Like there's a few of us in there. So what we could do is, because our challengers might get lost, in addition to having them in the group, what we could do is have what you would call a pod or a group. So you would do like a group chat, just like I, put you guys in group chats sometimes, and you would use that to just kind of keep tabs on your challengers, because a lot of times we put them in a group, things get overwhelming, and then a few days go by and you're like, oh shoot, I haven't seen anything from that person lately. You can also take that opportunity to extend that into your coaching in your downline, right? Because, especially if you're new and maybe you don't have your own team page yet, you could create a group with your coaches and have them all in a chat and have them pushing for things. Or if you're looking at your downline, and I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but if you're looking in your downline and you see that, you have people who are always around the same Success Club points or volume or things like that, you could put those people into a group and do group messages with them. Or maybe you have a new coach and their styles match up with another coach, and you could put them in a group together. So I just thought that the ideas of pods was a really cool thing to use that group messaging, because I know, like, as you guys know, we are all members of so many groups, and a lot of times I'll have like all these notifications from groups and I don't have a chance to go through and like look and see like who's doing what. So it becomes overwhelming, and then I forget the notification and it goes away. Whereas if I have a group message, like my messages always pop up. So I feel like that's a way to kind of keep people engaged, whether it's your coaches in your downline or your challengers. Again, going back to Success Club, that's something you could do. You could have Success Club pods. So if you put everyone in a pod that's kind of around the same level, or maybe you take if you're a coach for multiple years, you could take all your 2014 coaches, all your 2015 coaches, all your 2016 coaches, and put them each in a pod and have them together. Another thing that I was talking about was doing the color personality test. If you guys haven't done this already, I'm going to post the link again, and I want everyone to write down their color. So if you, with all of your coaches and even some of your challengers, I really recommend you doing the color code personality test. You can just Google it and it comes up, and it's pretty quick. It'll tell you what color you are, and it breaks down your personality. And the thing that's really cool about that is it will help you to know yourself, but then also if you're a leader and you're looking at your team, it helps you to understand how to best manage those people, because, we all have different personalities and we all have different styles of running our businesses. And sometimes personalities can clash, but if like this person's a yellow, they like to have fun, or this person's a red, they're all about business, or this person's a blue, they're really sensitive. So I need to kind of pat their ego and tell them they're pretty. Like, I'm a blue, pat my ego, tell me I'm pretty. Then that's going to help you to be a better leader, and it's going to help you to open the lines of communication so that no one's getting flustered, right? Because we all are very different, just like we were talking about in the sneak peek. Like, we all come from different walks of life and have different things going on in our lives. So if we can nail it down to, okay, she's a blue, that's why she's doing that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just really cool. And then what you could do then is then maybe pair up all of your blues and pair up all of your yellows. So like, those group pods can be really helpful, especially as your team continues to grow, because it's going to help you to manage them. Is that making sense so far? All right, so I'll post that link. Okay, so all right. The other thing so I talked to you about wanting to create business hours and set business hours and really professionalize your business. So if you do that, you're professionalizing your business. And then also if you have coaches underneath you, you can communicate to them, like, these are my business hours. This is when I'm available. Let's set something up. And that's not to say that if they have a question, they can't text you or call you or whatever. Like, I think that that's important too. But it's just that they know, and then it takes the pressure off of you. Like, if you have a coach who's messaging you about a challenge group and you're spending time with your family, you don't want to have to feel that pressure to reply to them. Megan's asking, how many hours would you recommend for the business hours? To be honest, I think, it's hard to put a number on anything. I think it depends on where you are in your business. And also it depends on how quickly you work. Like, for me, what I'm doing so far is I'm going to devote an hour every morning to my power hour. So now the other thing, Megan, to address that question is you want to think too, now, once you have your business hours, you want to know that, okay, these are my business hours, but here's what I'm doing during those business hours. And here's the time that I'm just working my business, and it doesn't have anything to do with helping my team. Because remember, you can have a team and that's all well and good, but if you let your own business go by the wayside because you have a team, you're going to flounder. So, look at your schedule and think about what you're doing every single day and what time you have to do for each thing. And maybe that means that one day you do inviting, and one day you do blogging, and one day you do whatever. But or maybe you have a list that you're working from, like that power hour list that Val shared, but you just want to find a system that works with you and play around with it. So anyway, what I'm doing is every single day, I'm going to do an hour of power hour in the morning. And that's my business time. And then of course I have my check-ins throughout the day. Like, I'll sit down at lunch and check in with my challenge groups. And then at night I'll sit down. Monday night, I do the dream team call. Tuesday night, I usually leave open for, if I'm doing a push group, like that diamond group or a new coach group or something. And then Wednesday, our team call. And then Thursday, I try not to do anything except for in the mornings I will. But then I kind of try to let myself go. The other thing is schedule, like I said, so if you're setting your business time, you're also scheduling in your non-beach body time. Like, block out, this is family time. This is date night. This is whatever, so that you're not sitting there feeling like I should be working. Because how many times are you sitting on the couch next to your husband watching TV and you're like, oh God, I should do this. Oh God, I should do that. And then you're like, oh, am I spending too much time on the business? The more organized you are, the more productive you'll be and the more savvy you'll be with your time, I think. So to do that, what I've started to do was I set up the, everyone has their own tracking system. Maybe it's you have a paper and pen planner. For me, I bought the Erin Condren planner, and to be honest, I use it because it has a zip pocket where I keep my cash. That's it. So I started using the Google Calendar, and they have an app. So I get alerts every time something happens. So like you guys aren't gonna be able to see this. I'm not even gonna pull it up, but I blocked out like, okay, so when I wake up in the morning, I do an hour of power hour followed by my workout. And then I even put in there like, okay, 6:30, you're getting showered and dressed. So that I'm like really diligent with my time and really flying through. And my next goal is to, when I'm doing that, you can turn off your chat bar so people can't see that you're on Facebook. And there's also a way to make your newsfeed go away. Because so many times I'll sit down and be like, oh, who should I message? Or, oh, what's this person posting? Oh, what should I do? Don't do that. Like, have your focused power hour, have your list of contacts so that you're not scrolling through Facebook messages and you're not scrolling through Facebook chat because guilty. It wastes your time, and then you're not super, focused. Does that make sense? So the Google Calendar is really working out well. Like I said, it has an app. The other thing that I'm going to be playing around with, and I want you guys to look into, and once I get more familiar with it, I can show you. So I've been looking like crazy for a tracking system because I truly feel like tracking is going to be where my business, like that's my downfall with business, is that I'm looking at Facebook messages to see who I was talking to, and then I forget, and then I see their picture pop up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to message them. There is a system through Google. It's called a CRM, like a tracking system through Google called Streak, S-T-R-E-A-K. And if you Google Streak for Beachbody coaches, there are a ton of YouTube videos out there. Brooke Lipoff does one. Basically, it's going to allow you to track every aspect of your business. Like, you want to take your business off of Facebook. Yes, you want to post and use it to drive your business, but as far as your conversations are going, move them off of Facebook, because if Facebook goes away or whatever happens, you're still going to have it backed up. So Streak is going to allow you to track everything. So you can track your challenge group sales. You can track your conversations that you're having with people. You can track your prospects. You can track your Shakeology HD orders. You can track your coaches, where they're at in their business, when, what their rank is, what groups they're in. Like, you can track everything on this thing called Streak so easily. And there's an app for it so that your business is always with you. And I thought that was so awesome. So the coaches that I was working with and showing me that were saying that what they do is, like, once they get the conversation going on Facebook, they move it to email. So they're taking it off of Facebook Messenger altogether, and they have it right in their email, which I thought was pretty interesting. I hadn't been doing that. So that's a good tip. But Streak, I feel like, is going to be a game changer. Like, I think that's really going to help you to organize your business. So like I said, my focus is definitely the word professionalism. Like, I just, I'm really, really aiming to be more professional in my business, because it is a business. I'm beyond the hobby phase, and I have been sitting here for too long saying, I want this, but my actions aren't necessarily matching. So the other thing I want you guys to do as you're thinking about your own goals and your team goals, we're all talking about, okay, I want to be diamond by this point. I want to be 2-star by this date. I want to be 5-star by that date. I want this income. And that's awesome. Like, to have your goals is awesome. But you need to sit down and say, okay, if I want to be this rank, or I want to have this many challengers, or I want to whatever, you need to think, okay, well, what action steps do I need to take to get there? Because saying it and wanting it is great, but it's not going to get you to where you need to be. So you need to be sitting down with your coaches, sitting down with your upline and saying, okay, this is what I want. Now, how can we get me there? And really opening those lines of communication. So one thing that I did was I set up that Acuity scheduler so that my coaches can schedule calls with me, so that it's not like a phone tag game of when can I talk to you and when are you free. It's really focused, and I know that when I get on the phone with them, this is what we're talking about. Again, that professionalism. Like I said, it doesn't mean that they can't call me or text me because they're my friends, but it just means that when we have that time, we're both laser focused. What else? The other thing that I'm really finding, I'm starting to fine tune, is my success partners. So I have a few success partners, actually. One of which is my friend Melinda, and she and I, we talk like every day and check in on our business, but we both sat the other day and said, all right, well, what can we do to like make this more, productive and meaningful? So we're not just like, oh, this happened and kind of reacting. So one of the things you want to think about your business too is, don't be reactive, be proactive with everything that you do. So what we're doing is we set up once a week, we're doing a Zoom. So on Wednesdays during my lunch break at school, I'm going to hop on Zoom. We're going to talk about 2 things that went well in our week, 2 things that we're struggling with, and what our plan is, so that we can really support one another and not just have these sounding boards, and help each other team up that way. So that's kind of what I've got. Like I said, really just thinking about yourself as a leader, whether you have coaches underneath you or not. The sooner you get in that mindset, the better. Also, just leading from the front. If you're a leader and you have coaches underneath you and you get frustrated, ask yourself, am I the kind of leader or am I the kind of coach that I wish I had? Am I doing the things that I want my team to do? Am I leading from the front? Am I setting a good example? Am I putting myself out there? Am I adding value? Am I making things simple? Am I talking with confidence? Do my coaches feel comfortable coming to me? Do they know that it's okay to join in with me and to collaborate, but at the same time, that's okay. At the same time, it's okay for them to do their own thing. Like, encourage your coaches to do their own thing. Encourage them to do their own sneak peeks. Encourage them to run their own groups. But then also, if they're going to team up with you, encourage them to make it collaborative, to come to you and say, hey, I was thinking of running this group, but I really don't want to do it by myself. Like, what are your thoughts? Can we put our heads together and do this? Not just, hey, when's your next group? Can I add people? Like, they're just those fine little tweaks that you can do that show that you're a leader and you're growing and that you're collaborating. And really helping one another out. And then in addition to that, the other thing is, when you're thinking about your coaches underneath you, if you're a diamond coach, you're a leader. You have coaches underneath you, and you don't have to have all of the answers, but you have to be willing to go and find the answers. If you're a diamond coach and you're asking your upline things that you could find in the FAQ, look in the FAQ first. And if you have a coach that's asking you a question that that they, are going to need the answer to, encourage them to go to find the answer. Don't just give it to them. So if they say something like, what are the challenge packs this month? Say, oh, it's in the breaking news. And I know that can sound kind of harsh, and I actually have a little bit of a trouble doing that because I'm a teacher and I like to give people answers, I guess. But if we did that with our kids and we did that with people, would they ever know for themselves? Right? So you want your coaches to one day develop into leaders. So they're not going to always have to come to you. They're going to have people then coming to them, and so on and so forth. So really, from the very beginning, encouraging them to be independent in that way. While you're their guide by the side, you want them to reach out and try to find the answers beforehand, before asking you, and know where to find them. So even if you do give them the answer, say, and it's FAQ 1698, So that's kind of everything. Like I said, it was a lot. It was amazing. Bonnie Engel, I really like the way she runs her business. She talked a lot. Melanie talked about time management. She talked about being a leader. They were both really great. And Michelle Myers spoke also. She was really good. I hadn't seen her before. And then the other thing that we're going to have to really talk about is policy and procedures. I'm going to post a little bit about that, about compliance and ethics. And, when you're posting a picture of you with the car that you have thanks to Beachbody, how you have to put a disclaimer or they're going to come after you. Finding your niche is something I'm going to talk about. The importance of Success Club. Like, that's something that you guys all need to know, and you need to know to pass on to your coaches from day one. And then for those of you who are interested in being elite or shooting for elite or premier this year, it's totally doable. Whether you are brand new or you're a diamond, you can be premier this year or elite this year. So if you're ready for that, we'll talk. We'll set up a call for that. We'll set up a pod. How about that? And then also the leadership ladder was another thing that I wanted to do a separate call on. So I apologize. I know this isn't my most organized call, but it's just because there's so much good stuff that I want to be sure I'm sharing with you guys. I was really blessed to have the opportunity to go. I wouldn't have been there if it weren't for you and all of your hard work. So I'm happy to bring this information back to you, and I hope that I know that you'll be there next year. I know that, and I will be right there with you, presenting, because I'm going to be amazing by then. But anyway, seriously, it just, like I said, it further confirmed to me how much I love this company, what they stand for, the potential that we have for growth. the need to push aside your excuses and just dig deep and put aside your fears and go for it. Like, there's such amazing opportunity. And I promise to make more organized presentations for all of the great stuff that I learned, and to do specific calls on each of those topics. But for now, I think that's it, because I don't want to make your head spin anymore. So do you guys have any questions? Comments? Something? Is there like a pulse? Oh. Hi, Carl. Let's see. Okay. I'm just looking at your comments. All right. It sounds like nothing. You guys don't want to talk to me? Nothing? No questions? No. Oh, the other thing. I'll just keep talking. It's fine. 22-minute hardcore. Awesome. I was front and center with Tony. Rug burn on my freaking elbows because we were on carpet. It was an amazing workout, 22 minutes. Sweat dripping like crazy, insane, awesome. The thing that's really cool that's going to be, so it comes out in March. It's 22-minute hardcore, CORPS. So it's based on military boot camp training. So Tony's like, 1, 2. That's how he talks through the whole thing. And the cool thing is that everyone who's in the videos, when it comes out, they're all military vets. And it was filmed on, I think, the USS Iowa. So that's really cool. I think that that's going to really be a good selling point for us, because again, like, this company is amazing and the mission is amazing, and the support that they give to military vets is really cool. If you didn't realize already, hopefully you do, but military vets don't pay coaching fees. So if you have anyone who's a vet or an active member, then they need to be signed up as a coach, because they're going to get a discount without having to pay any fees. So really start to put together your lists for March of people that you think would A, like a workout that's 22 minutes, B, military style, or C, that they're a vet. Like, those are going to be or active. That's going to be your big thing. The other thing, really funny kind of blooper. So they gave us breakfast after the Tony Horton workout, and they had Shakeology set up. So it was like a huge buffet, lots of really great food. And then they had Shakeology, and they have like the kitchen guys out there like pouring you Shakeology. So the one recipe says like Shakeology, whatever, chocolate Shakeology, banana, peanut butter, and Energize Boost. So Energize, energy boost. No. They put Energize in the chocolate Shakeology. It was so disgusting. And like, the sad part is like, what a waste, because when you walked out of the room, there was like so much of it left. Like, who the heck, one person I know was like, this is amazing. I'm like, this is disgusting. So that was kind of funny and awful. Like, how did you screw that one up? And then the other funny thing was, so the hotel that we stayed at was the Hyatt Century Plaza, which is right on Avenue of the Stars. And the gym that's connected to it was the Equinox gym, which is like an amazing facility. So we go there, and like, there's all these Beachbody coaches doing like their on demand. And I went with my friend Jamie, and we took this class, and it was a Tabata class filled with like, I don't know, 25 people. And we were the only Beachbody coaches in there. We were the most fit people in this class, hands down. I was like, take that. That's what Beachbody programs do for you. So that was pretty cool. And then the night that we checked out of the hotel, there was the Producers Guild Awards, and like all the celebrities were there, and we missed it. It was Lady Gaga was there, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, and I checked out. So I missed it, but it was awesome. Oh, and then, do you guys ever, I don't watch movies, so I don't remember this, but in the movie Mean Girls, the guy who's wearing the hood and says like, she doesn't even go here. I don't know. Well, he was at the bar that the party was at, so we like got our picture taken with him. All right, so that's it. Totally recorded that nonsense. Kat, did you have something to say? Did you unmute yourself?
You know how I hate awkward silence, so I was about to just like do a little dance for you or something.
Yes.
And you wanted someone to say something.
Awesome.
But no, I missed like 10 minutes of that, and I'm sorry about that, but Violet's just being a little testy tonight. No, everything that you have shared is amazing, and it just makes me want to go. That's all I wanted to say. Just makes me want to go.
Awesome. And you know what? And like that's the thing. Like, and even when we came back from Summit, I think Trisha and Megan will agree. Like, you have so much information, and it's so amazing. And you're like on this high, and you're like, you can take all the notes you want, and you're going to implement things. And one of the things they talked about was not being a collector of information, but actually putting things into action. But it's so hard to like summarize it and put it into words, because it's like a physical, like it's physical, like it's a physical feeling to go through this and to be with all these people. And it's just like, the energy is just amazing. Like, I truly feel like a different person when I'm at these events. I know that sounds so cheesy, and I'm sure if Ryan hears me right now, he's laughing and making fun of me, but like, it's so true. I can't even put it into words. It's just such an amazing feeling to be surrounded by people who all have like the same goal in mind, and all are willing to help one another and share, like to sit, Wednesday night, like we earned our own rooms. And actually my friend Megan from Canada, she was coming from Canada. She didn't earn her room. So I was like, just stay with me, because the Canadian dollar is so weak. Like, you'd be paying so much money. So she stayed with me. And the first night we were there, like 5 of us bunked in a room, and it was like, but it was so cool. And we sat around, like, here we are in Los Angeles. We have free time. Like, we're all dressed and ready to go. We were like going to go hiking, go shopping, go this, go that. And we all like sat there, and my friend Chrissy was like, oh my God, you guys, you need to do this program streak. Like, you need to get in on this. And we're like, what are you talking about? And she sat down and she did a whole tutorial. Like, she got her laptop. We all crowded around like the desk in the room, and she taught us how to use Streak. And like, that right there is such a testament to what we're doing, because she's essentially my competitor, right? She's another coach. She's not in my downline. I don't, like, she's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing. And she was like, you guys need this. This is going to make your business explode. And that's like, I just think that's so cool, because especially one of the things you'll get, like an objection you'll get is like, oh, it's a saturated, market, because there are a ton of Beachbody coaches. And you know what? It doesn't matter, because the thing is, like, what sets you apart from other people, and what can you take, and what positive spin can you put on things, And like I said at the beginning of the call, I have someone watching me who's watching Amy Silverman, like, we're totally different people. So I'm so happy that this coach is watching both of us, because Amy's not my competition. Amy's doing her thing, and I'm doing my thing, and we're totally different people, So like, that's what's so cool about this thing, I think, is like, I say it all the time, but the camaraderie, not just on our little team, but on our big, huge team, the connections you can make, and the way that everyone lifts each other up is it just like restores your faith in humanity, honestly, and to come back, you're kind of like, I said to Trisha, in the beginning, like, you come back to reality and you're like, womp, 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 because it's like crashing down from a high, but it's just, all the notes in the world aren't going to do you justice for that feeling. So you guys, like I say all the time, you've got to get to these live events. I know that you're all going to qualify for this event next year, and you'll all be there. I mean, you're all obviously going to be at Summit. And then just, yeah, that's all. So, all right. I won't make anyone else feel like they have to do a dance for me. Thank you, Kat, for, appeasing me. And otherwise, that's it, guys. But, like I said, I'll continue to post information. I'll put some more stuff together. We'll do more specific calls on the separate issues. I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of what's what. So that's what's going on. I'm super psyched to be ending this month strong and kicking off February with the Team Cup, and really just crushing things and making 2016 sweet. So, all right, guys, have a good night. I hope you all get some coaches from tonight's sneak peek, and I will talk to you later. Bye.